Today I walked from Erdanis to Zarquiagui. I might be pronouncing those names wrong, but that's just how I know it in my head. So we walked almost 20 miles today. We left Erdanis and it was a bit of an incline. It was a really long day and a really hard day, but I still had some really memorable experiences. So we made it to the town of La Rasawana and met a man named Oliver who runs this mini mart, and he was giving free pilgrim advice. These are the three things he called gifts that he gave. The first is the gift of now and being present in whatever is going on in life. Don't think about yesterday, don't think about tomorrow, but think about now. The second gift is the gift of people and listening to them. So many times we want to talk and share our stories, but he said one of the gifts that you gain from the Camino is the gift of listening. The third gift is the gift of happiness, that you will be able to find true happiness inside. I was so grateful for his counsel. It was a really great gift to receive just a few days into my Camino experience. After leaving La Rasawana, Jenny and I continued walking, and we got to follow a creek for several miles. It reminded me so much of home that I don't miss quite yet, but it also was wonderful to feel familiar. I got to see some of my friends. Here's Pam and William. We ate our second breakfast all at the same location, and I also got to see my friends from the Netherlands again. I continued on walking, following the road for a couple of miles before Jenny and I were able to make our way off of the path and went through some wheat fields, got to see a cute little town that felt like a blink of an eye before it was gone. I actually pictured it being a bigger town, but it was not. Eventually, Jenny and I made our way into Pamplona, and I actually, when I first arrived in Pamplona, I did not realize that's where I was. I was so in awe of this super cute town, and I was like, man, whatever this town is so adorable. But it was so different from the first Pamplona that I saw, and it was a very happy surprise. Anyway, as we got further into the big city, we were able to see here it is as we're coming into Pamplona. I did get to step into a church and got to sit and pray and just find some peace, which I really needed. But then we continued on, and this is where it started to feel familiar, like the Pamplona that I had seen before. Also, look at these walls. I could not believe how big they were. Got to also spend some time in the cathedral here in Pamplona, which I thought I had seen before, but evidently had not. Jenny was not super into going into the cathedrals, so she sat and relaxed while I went in, and it was everything I hoped it to be. It was grand, it was beautiful, it was quiet. I was able to take some time after a few videos and photos to sit and again pray and find some peace, and recenter myself and reflect while I was walking. We had lunch and then quickly headed back out, and this is what it was like for the remainder of our evening. It was exhausting. It was probably close to 90 degrees. I was so tired. It was like once we hit 18 miles, both of us were pretty hammered, but after a lot of quiet walking, maybe even a couple of tears, we eventually made it to Zarquiagui. This was partway up a mountainside or a steeper hillside, and no one spoke English at this albergue, but they had soup, which I desperately needed, a bed, and some friendly people to be with. But as you can see, I was so done by the end of today.